Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Fall. Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today we got something very kind of off for my channel, but we're just basically typically going to be discussing on how to become a better sniper or just a better S&D sniper in Call of Duty. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I actually have a lot of people kind of asking how to snipe in Call of Duty, and then also mainly because we're getting the new generation of gamers or people who like to play Call of Duty coming in, and I'm starting to see sniping die a lot. So I've been sniping for quite a while in Call of Duty, and I genuinely don't want to see the community go away. It's been dying and dying for the past, like, I don't know, since Black Ops 2. It's been dying for a while now. People are getting less and less impressed with sniping clips and stuff like that. As long as you follow these like guidelines and these tips and stuff like that, it'll make you a better sniper overall, not only in search and destroy, but in pretty much every game mode. All these tips and stuff like that are pretty much applicable to any situation in Call of Duty, sniping or not, but mainly sniping because snipers basically just go for clips. We don't really go for wins. I know that sounds shitty, but that's what the premises of sniping is. Whether you're playing search and destroy or any other game mode, you're pretty much just going for a clip or like any type of no scope or, you know, feed. So just keep that in mind as we're going over these tips and stuff like that. These aren't geared towards getting the win. These are more geared towards getting clips, stuff that looks good, so you can either post it or you can brag to, or just say, hey, I got a 5 on, or I got a 360 no scope. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into the gameplay now. We have a small little gameplay. I'm going to be taking all the clips that I got from one gameplay. It's S&D sniping. Basically, with all that out of the way, we can kind of get into our first tip. And my first tip I have for you is stop camping. Don't sit back. Don't hold head glitches. Don't watch lanes. You have to keep pushing. Whether it's an S&D, maybe if it's S&D, if you're going for the win, you can kind of do this. But whether it's an S&D and you're trying to hit a clip or trying to get a high kill game, or whether it's in respawn like domination or hardpoint and you're trying to get a clip, you can't just sit back on a head glitch all game and expect to get clips. You need to push. You need to have an aggressive sniper build, and you need to have good aim. A good way to do this is to kind of set up a bot lobby on Nuketown or wherever you want to go, a small map. If you're doing on Modern Warfare, I'd kind of suggest maybe Speedball or Shoot House. Just basically set up a bot lobby and practice centering, hitting your shots consistently in the upper body, aiming for the head. I always say aim, you know, tits up, or aim at the upper chest and up, and you'll get your one-shot kill. There should really be no excuse for hitting a hit marker, especially in the newer Call of Duties where basically it's almost 100% chance that you get a one-shot, one kill to the head. But yeah, basically just keep pushing and focus on your aim. So I have a pretty good example of this right here. Even though this is an S&D, it kind of gives you a good idea of what to do when I mean by just push, okay?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
I mean, I can't, man.
John got beat up by. Ivan was scared to confront.
We got a hard scope Kimmy, so watch out.
There's a guy in the back.
Hard scope.
Eliminate their last
You should pistol.
More or less in S&D, you're going to kind of want to wait for a call out to keep pushing. But in respawn, you can kind of basically apply this to pretty much any situation. Try and push your spawn as much as possible. It's going to help you get clips in the long run, and you can also, you know, it'll naturally develop your aim. You know, if you put yourself in shitty situations, you'll learn how to deal with those shitty situations down in the long run. So just keep on pushing for kills and keep on pushing for clips. Moving on to tip number 2. This one's pretty important because this basically helped me and a bunch of other snipers that are content creators and just snipers that are really good at sniping, probably better than me at the game, become super good with their aim. And so I still do this pretty much to this day to warm up. Now that there's snipers only in the game, I really don't use it too much like at the moment. But when there's not snipers only, I use it a ton to warm up my shot and just get better at hitting upper chest and everything. It's also a good way to practice movement without having people who use AK-74Us and stuff like that, and just all like the meta weapons just on your ass all the time, constantly rushing you and stunning you. And that's pretty much just setting up a bot lobby to practice your aim. I know this kind of goes in hand with the other tip that I made because I did talk about it a little bit, but aim is super important. I'm sure you've probably heard the term like aim higher and stuff like that. Probably heard people like Pamaj and a bunch of other people say it, and it's actually I'm gonna be real with you here. It's probably the most important thing when it comes to sniping. Aiming high and speed is pretty much the most important thing, right next to movement. So I can show you how to set this up. Basically, all I do is I choose my small map. Usually it's Nuketown. If you're on Modern Warfare, you could probably do something like Speedball or like Shoot House, or if you want to use Shipment, you can use Shipment. And you just want to go to like edit game rules. First things first, you want to make the mode team deathmatch, or you can make it free for all. Free for all is probably the best. So you can go free for all. So everyone's kind of shooting at one another and they're not just all focusing you. And then you want to go into edit game rules, settings, basically win condition, make it unlimited. And then yeah, the score limit make it unlimited as well. For me, I like to turn the minimap on, so you can just go to minimap and make it constant. And then basically you can save that if you want to. I already have a game mode made for it, so I won't save it. So I'm just gonna go discard. But if you don't already have a game mode saved, make sure you do save it and make it like warm up sniping. And then go to bots and players, and this is the most important thing. Add as much bots as you can and fill the list. And then go to bot settings, and then you can do bot recruit or you can do regular. I prefer regular because I'm not really looking to challenge myself. I'm just looking to make sure that I can hit high when I need to. And then basically set that like that, and you're pretty much good to go. Now you can do a bunch of other stuff, like make sure they only have knives, but you really want them shooting back so you can get used to somebody shooting back. That's where you kind of upgrade the difficulty and stuff like that. But this is mainly just for practicing aiming high, and hitting your shot high in the chest and up. So pretty much that just goes with tip number 2. Make sure that you're aiming super high, and yeah, getting those one-shot one kills because they're the most important thing. So now we're getting to tip number 3, and my third tip for you is basically just working on your movement and your speed. Oh boy, movement and speed are pretty they're probably some, I know I say a lot of this shit is the most important shit, but this is probably, especially in nowadays Call of Duty, this is probably the second most important thing besides hitting your shots. Movement and speed are super important, man. That just comes down to playtime, knowing what the meta is and stuff like that. I can tell you right now, movement is super important because using a sniper in this game especially, you're already at a pretty distinct disadvantage, pretty heavy one. That's basically just the fact. Everyone is using, every red gun in this game is almost better than, you'd have a better chance with doing good in an S&D game with a pistol in this game than using a sniper because they're just slow. Although there's no flinch, guns in this game can kill you before you can even think about ADSing with a sniper rifle. Said that since Modern Warfare. So with that being said, you need to make it hard for people to hit you. Slide canceling, jumping, you can kind of slightly b-hop in Cold War. Ledge sliding, all important things in this game. And they can allow you to kind of avoid getting hit while trying to hit your shot. Now, it's very important to work on movement and hitting your shot at the same time, but focus on hitting your shot and then focus on movement, because I see a lot of people sliding around, they don't know how to hit their shot. Like, you know, it is what it is, but like you gotta hit your shot. But yes, movement is very important because you're trying not to get hit as well, and you're trying to stay alive, and you're trying to keep that clip going. And movement can help for momentum's sake, just to keep the clip going. So I got a pretty good clip for you here right now to show you basically how my movement looks in S&D. I know it doesn't look like too much from like the first person perspective, but in a third person perspective, when you're the person looking at me, it makes it super hard for me to hit.
Okay.
So you're gonna notice coming up to this edge on Maul, we're gonna do like a little slide off the ledge. As we're jumping onto the ledge, we're gonna press the slide button, and it's gonna kind of boost us forward. It's gonna make it hard for the other person to hit who's aiming from either fountain, right fountain, or like the side coming from the little theater, or like the arcade, whatever it is. So you're gonna see we're gonna be strafing back and forth and trying to, like, you know, quick scope this guy, and it's gonna allow us to get the kill. We're gonna throw a little couple crouches in there because we do miss our shot because we're terrible. And it allows us to get the kill, but most importantly, it allows him not to hit us. Finally hit that guy, bro.
Stinky. Uh-oh, stinky.
As we're moving on, you're going to see me slide into, or through arcade, peeking up the staircase, because I know the guy's there. I heard him moving in the first place. Thankfully, he didn't know I was there, but this slide is going to make us harder to hit as we're sliding, and then just be able to shoot him and catch him off guard. So yeah, movement, pretty important. Makes you harder to hit, and it also just speeds things up. If you know the nice little tricks like sliding off ledges, it can really improve your game. And if you know how to hit your shot, makes your movement, you can become a really, really good sniper. So tip number 5, I can't really teach you, and it's going to take a while to kind of get used to. So it's going to be pretty frustrating in the beginning. But tip number 4 is basically to just throw yourself in shitty situations. Eventually, if you just keep on throwing yourself in bad situations, and keep on forcing things that maybe you shouldn't in the beginning, then you'll kind of teach yourself how to get yourself out of those bad situations. And then they kind of turn into clips as well, especially in like search and destroy state. So a good example like this would be if you know there's 3 guys around the corner and they all know you're there. Maybe if you're not that good of a sniper at the moment, maybe just push it. Just say fucking and push it, right? Because there's a chance that you do kill all 3 of them. And not only that, but you come out with a little bit of knowledge too if you don't die. you kind of can look back at kill cam and say, hey, maybe I shoot this guy first because maybe he's not looking, or, you know, this, that, or the other. And it kind of just teaches you how to get yourself out of bad situations or how to deal with what you have already dealt towards you. Like I said, I can't really teach you this, but this kind of comes with basic knowledge in search and destroy and pretty much every game mode. But if you just throw yourself into bad situations and make things kind of tougher on you in the beginning, then the easier things will come easier down the road, and the harder things will come a lot easier down the road as well because you've been there and you've done that. And so now we're coming to our fifth and final tip, and our fifth and final tip is basically just the class setup. Now this sounds pretty simple, but you want to get a good class setup, and you kind of want to force a class setup as well. What I like to do is double sniping, and what I can recommend to you if you're a sniper is don't run anything but a sniper or a knife. So I like to say this a lot because, you know, I hate people who whip pistols because they missed their shot, because you're not improving anything. If you're missing your shot, obviously there's something you need to improve on. What we used to we like to commonly call pistol whippers in the Call of Duty scene, and basically, or in the sniping scene, it's basically just anybody that misses their shot and then kind of sissies out and pulls out whatever their secondary is, whether it's a pistol or an AK-74U. It really is just kind of like, it feels like he sold out or he kind of copped out, and you're not really improving anything if you're just doing that. And so I've kind of set up a little class setup. This is basically what I use all the time, whether I'm S&D sniping or respawn sniping. This is majority of what I'm using. I like to use double snipers. So basically for the perks, I like to run Tactical Mask, Assassin, and Gung Ho. Like I said, if you want to interswap Gung Ho for something like Ninja, you can, but Gung Ho allows you to get that clip in. And then Stun Grenade, Tomahawk, and Trophy System. Stun Grenade to stun enemies on like Nuketown if you're running into their spawn, just so it makes them a little more clueless and helpless. You can kind of get those easy kills. And then Tomahawk, because nobody likes a sniper who runs a grenade or a Semtex. It's kind of goes along the lines of sellout. And a Tomahawk is a little less frowned upon when you get it because you miss your shot. Now the perfect class setup for these sniper rifles, which is what I use at the moment, it's kind of geared towards S&D sniping. That would be the Tiger Team barrel, the Tiger Team Spotlight for the body. You want to run 7-round magazine, the airborne elastic wrap, which is basically the most important attachment for snipers at the moment because it allows you to compete with the red gunners, and then the marathon stock, which just allows you to keep a little bit of hipfire accuracy, so you can kind of trick shot if you want to at the end. All these attachments are pretty interchangeable for the Tundra, except for instead of Tiger Team barrel, you're going to want to run the Hammer Forge to keep that speed. 5 tips. This is pretty much the end of the video. Sniping in this game is not easy. It's the hardest it's ever been in Call of Duty history, right next to Modern Warfare, and the past couple years, sniping has kind of been frowned upon, and it's getting less and less popular as Call of Duty goes on. The community is dying, and I would love to see nothing more than more snipers come in and try it out instead of just kind of boringly red gun and try and sweat 24/7, try and have some fun with sniping. I can assure you that it's just refreshing and fun, and it adds an entire new layer to the game that you've probably never experienced before. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.